He's like, so where's north right now? I'm like,
No,
bro, how am I
literally.
supposed to know? Am I a compass?
Hey guys.
Welcome to the first episode of No Cap Just Yap. I'm your co-host Selina.
And I'm your other co-host, Esther.
Yes. Okay, first episode. How are we doing? How we doing, Esther?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm on some caffeine right now, so, got that energy coursing through my veins.
I know you're up bright and early.
Yeah, always, bro, always.
All right, we wanted to start off by introducing ourselves. So, Esther, you want to start first?
Yeah, sure. My name's Esther. Right now, I'm living in Illinois, but I was born in Georgia, the state of Georgia, not the country. And when I was like 13, my family and I moved to Maine. Then when I was 15, we moved to California. And I lived in Wisconsin for a short while, but don't tell anyone because we don't talk
I
about
literally
that.
did not know that. That's crazy.
No, literally, for like a month, like not like 2 weeks. I lived in Wisconsin. Okay, don't worry about it. There was so many cows, bro, and like cornfields, but that's besides the point. Okay, and then moved to Boston for college. That was fun, very fun. And now I'm in Illinois, where I know zero souls here. I have one friend, but basically my life is just a bunch of moving, a bunch of music in the car, in my ears all the time. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Awesome. So a bit about me. Unlike Esther, I actually haven't moved around a lot. I was born and raised in New York. I grew up in Queens and then moved out to Long Island, which is where I live now. So I live in the suburbs, that suburbia
Yep.
vibe, which is pretty nice, honestly, for growing up. And then I decided for college that I wanted to leave home. I was like, I've been here long enough. I love New York, but I'm ready for something new. So that's kind of how I ended up at Northeastern, which is where I would eventually meet Esther. Yeah, but besides that, in my free time, I used to dance a lot. So I grew up doing dance for a long time, like ballet tap. And then in college, I did contemporary. I have since been a retired dancer now, is what I consider myself.
I'm also retired, but I'm a retired dancer, but I was never really a great dancer. So
No, she was good. I don't know what she's on, but she was actually so good in college, like doing like hip hop and like I'm more of like the classic style. She's more of like the hip hop, the cool girl vibe. I was also in an a cappella group in college, so I've always loved to sing. It's one of my passions. It's something I'm still doing now. I'm kind of a side quester, so I always be picking up random hobbies here and there. Yeah, don't be surprised if next week I come back and there's something new.
It's fun to have cute little hobbies here and there, spice up life a little bit. How did we meet?
Oh, that's a fun question. So actually, me and Esther have like it's the same story but different perspectives.
Right.
So the way we met it was like the beginning of our freshman year. We were both church hopping and it was a Sunday. I don't know. I've been having this like reoccurring issue with like my feet
Because they're
where
really
like
small.
I just have very flat feet and they're really small. But I think when I overused them, which I think I did in the beginning of my freshman year because I was walking around so much and getting to know everyone, like going on like late night adventures, Sunday, like I was in a lot of pain for some reason. Literally like my knee down was like throbbing, but like to the point where like it was hurting to walk, which I know as a listener, this is probably really concerning, but this only happens to me like probably like once every year or two, which is like really weird. It hasn't happened since freshman
I'm
year.
telling her she needs to get like a foot elongation surgery or something like
I know.
not even
I probably should
capping.
go to a podiatrist, but we'll see. I'm just like, this is bad, but I'm like, it's probably fine,
Right.
But anyway, I see Esther and my other friend Lois at the time. Well, we weren't friends yet, but they were just two girls that were my age. And I forgot how exactly it happened, but they started piggybacking me.
So here's what happened. I'm walking in this group of college kids. I just met them. This is probably, I don't know, week 2 or 3 or something, not even. And it's sunny, it's hot. We're all having fun. I see Lois, this girl that I kind of know. I just met her and she's giving Selena a piggyback ride. I'm like, what is this? Like, did I step into a different dimension? Like, what is college, bro? And I'm like, what the heck? Lois, you're strong, bro. Aren't you tired? Selena's on Lois's back for a while. It's not like a quick, like 1 minute, bro. Like, Lois is strong. And she's like, yeah, her feet hurt, so I'm just giving her a piggyback ride. And I don't know why. I was like, oh, I'll help. I can't even remember why, but all of a sudden she was on my back. And that's how we met. I gave Selena a piggyback ride within the first times we met, which was so interesting. I can't.
Yeah, they were alternating. So like Lois would do a block or two and then Esther would take over just because like it was kind of a far walk. Looking back, like I'm really, really grateful that they were willing to do that. I didn't expect to be piggybacked the whole time. So, I mean, I guess it was meant to be. It was meant to be because we became all good friends after that, which is so funny.
Man, actually insane. And there's photos. There's literally photos
There
of
is. I
that.
have a photo of that happening, which is hilarious. But yeah, first impressions, huh? So what did you think when you met me? I wanna know the tea.
I don't remember what I thought because I remember like snippets of everything. I don't know. I feel like you like melded with every other college kid I met at the time. I'm not gonna lie. I'm trying to think if there's something specific that I thought of you. I feel like maybe I thought you were cool. I think I probably saw your Instagram and
Oh,
I was like,
okay.
okay, kind of cool. Yeah. And then later on, I thought you were super cool because you had blonde hair. I don't know how soon
Oh,
into freshman year that was, but
yes.
I really
Yes,
like that.
yes. I had a blonde era, guys. I know this is a
Mhm.
surprise to everybody, but it happened.
Guys, one thing about me, I love bleach blonde hair. I love bleach blonde platinum hair. Like when it's fried, I love it.
I can confirm my hair was fried after I dyed it that color. It was my first time, like, going fully blonde. Looking back, like, it was cool, but, like, I think it kinda washed me out, so, like, I actually prefer my hair now, so I don't think I'll be going back to blonde. My first impression, obviously, was this is really nice of Esther, and, like, it's very kind of her
Mhm.
to piggyback me. I don't exactly remember what I thought when I first met you. I think you were
Mm,
just, you were just, like, really nice. I could tell you're a little bit more introverted, nothing crazy.
nothing crazy.
So ever since we met, we've been really close friends. This was like freshman year of the story, but flash forward, we graduated. Now we were friends for 4 years throughout college, and then past that, yeah, it became like a very beautiful friendship that started from just piggyback riding, which is really funny. We have memories of like me staying over at Esther's dorm, like freshman year, sophomore year. There were a lot of sleepovers
There were a lot,
and
yeah.
a lot of like side quests. So that was super fun. We went to Maine together one point and went to
Mhm.
see like
Oh, there's a story there
Montauk
for
and stuff
sure.
like that. Oh my gosh,
There's
that was
so
a
many
crazy trip. Oh my
there's
gosh.
so many stories from Maine, bro. Oh
I
my
know. I
gosh.
feel like
We'll
we have
tell
a
them
lot to
later.
unpack. Yeah, that's for
Yeah.
later. But yeah, so flash forward to now, right? We're both post grad. We're both figuring out our life, navigating this next
Mhm.
chapter. And we were like, we've been FaceTiming a lot just because long distance friendships are hard. They require work. I know it's sad.
Aw.
I haven't seen Esther in so long.
I mean
But
I mean, we saw each other this year though.
yeah, we did. But like that was like January. It's like May now. It's
Yeah,
been like
but,
4 or 5
like,
months.
been so long and it's, like, not even half a year, like,
I
dang, bro.
know, but it's long because we used to see each other, like, every day, so it's very
That's true,
different.
that's
So, yeah,
true.
going from that to, like, long distance, we found ourselves, like, doing a lot of FaceTime calls
Mm,
through job, when we're working, through not working, we would always call each other, and we would just, like, talk about life. We just yap about, honestly, anything and everything. And then one day, I was talking to Esther, and I was like, we do a lot of FaceTime calls, and we love to
yeah.
yap." Like, I'm like, "Why don't we start a podcast?"
And I was like, "You know what? Yeah, why not? Like, that's a good idea." So,
Yeah, so that's how it started, actually, just, like
yeah.
and we want the vibe to be very much like you're talking on FaceTime with your bestie, you know? Like,
Mhm.
you can kinda have those deep talks, but also there's gonna be points where, like, you guys are just yapping about, like, I don't know, the new show that you watched or something random that
Yeah.
happened today, but those are
Just
the
silly,
best
goofy
combos.
stuff.
So, we wanted to do a little bit of a who's more likely question thing so that you guys could get to know us a little bit better. So, why don't we dig into this now?
Yeah, I'll ask the
Alright,
first one.
go
Okay.
ahead.
Who's more likely to say, "I'm locked in," and then procrastinate?
Ooh, that's so hard. I feel like both of us are kind of like, we love to do that, like, say we're locking
Yeah.
in and then procrastinate.
I'm literally a master procrastinator.
I'm gonna give it to you more than me. I feel like for you, because you love watching shows, and, like, once you get into a show, you get like, you're into it, you know? She finished, like, 1 season of what was it, Next Gen Chef recently in a day.
In, like, a day and a half. But the crazy thing is, like, I sleep a lot, but I also don't sleep that much.
Mm,
It's weird, okay? So I just have so much time in my day. I low-key have,
yeah,
like,
long days.
18 hours. Okay, 18 hours doesn't seem like a lot, but I have 18 hours in my day. So, like, I have so much time to do stuff. I don't leave the house, so I have time to lock in and to, like, goof off.
Yes, for
Me,
real.
I'm a master procrastinator here.
Yes, I will give it to Esther, but I do also have a hard time with procrastination sometimes. I'm working on it, but it's hard when we're both unemployed. When you have so much time and not a very structured schedule, it's a lot easier to procrastinate.
Yeah,
But
for
also, like, the
sure.
2 of us, like, once we're into something, we lock in, we're very locked in, so I think that's
Yeah,
something we have in common.
like, locked into the point of no return.
No, literally,
Yeah.
like, you'll be working for all day and you look up and you're like, "Wow, I haven't eaten anything."
No, literally, bro. I was so locked in a couple days ago. My computer, which is a MacBook Pro, so they don't usually like their fan in the computer to cool it doesn't usually turn on. The
Yeah.
fan turned on. I thought it was like a vacuum because I had my headphones on too. I thought it was like a vacuum in the hallway. I was like,
I'm
who's vacuuming?
dying.
I took my headphone off and I was like, Bro, that's my computer making that loud noise. Is this thing about to blow up? I was so locked
Bro,
in.
your computer
Literally
was
so
about to
locked
take
in.
off for real.
Literally, my computer's been used for freaking 50 hours every 2 days. Okay, that's not possible, but it seems like that way, the way it's been acting, so okay.
Yes. All
Who's more
right.
likely to get lost even with directions?
This is such an obvious one. Like, come on. We know who it is.
Yeah, it's definitely Selena, bro. Like
It's so bad, guys. It's like it's to the point where I'll have the maps out and I'll still walk in the wrong direction. One time I was with a friend and we were walking like I don't know, we were like 20 minutes into the walk. I thought we were going the right way, so I didn't really look too closely. And the next thing I looked down, I'm like, why has the time that we have to walk doubled? And I was like, oh my gosh, we went the wrong
bro.
way. And they're like, bro, what? Like, how did you not notice? And I was like, I don't know. It's bad. I get it from my mom. We just like are directionally challenged. I'm just convinced that it's something you're born with. Like, you're either like really good at directions, like my dad.
You just have like an internal compass.
Yeah. He's like, so where's north right now? I'm like,
No,
bro, how am I
literally.
supposed to know? Am I a compass?
Bro, north is back there for me right now. My whole wall is just a window, so I can see the sun always. So I know that the sun
Oh,
rises
that's
in
so
the
nice.
east, sets in the west. So I kind of just have like a mental map of coordinates right now in my head.
Yo,
Yeah.
that's crazy. No
Mhm.
thoughts in here when I'm walking anywhere. Like when I drive, I have to have the maps on. It's okay, guys. I'm working on it. I'm practicing. I'm gonna have to end up with someone who's good with directions. Otherwise, both be lost going everywhere.
Hey, if you're lost together, doesn't that mean you're still found?
I don't know about that, but yeah, sure.
And on that note, who's a hopeless romantic? I'm just kidding. Who's more likely to send a risky text on a whim?
Definitely Esther. There's been a lot of risky texts, even some notes on someone's door in college.
Oh
I
my
won't
god, I
expose
forgot
her
about
too
that.
much, but yeah, it goes beyond texting, guys. Sometimes you need to send a risky text. And by risky, I
Right?
mean it's not just like a bad thing. It's like sometimes you need to take a chance. And I feel like for me,
Yeah.
it's something that I'm not as likely to do, but I'm like I want to be better at taking risks like that, you know?
Let me define risky for you guys, because let's just define it. Okay, it's nothing crazy. It's just me
Yeah.
like texting some guy I think is cute or something and saying like something stupid. Just texting them in general, stupid, because I've never talked to them in real life. That's the thing with me. I will send a text like, "Hey, happy birthday" or something, spoken like one phrase to this person in real life, or like I'll say, "Hey, let's hang out." Never talk to this person in real life.
I
That's
know.
risky. Because, like, why would you do that? Like, why? Who does that?
It's crazy because you'll do that, but you would never approach someone in real life and do that. Whereas,
Yeah,
like, for me,
never.
like, I can't imagine doing a text, but I can somehow imagine me, like, going up to someone in real life. I don't know how. I grew up having to, like, meet a lot of people, being, like, leaders of summer camps and stuff, so, like, I'm
Okay,
used to
okay.
having to, like, talk to new people. It's not my favorite thing. I feel like I'm more of, like, an in-person person than, like, a texter, so
See, the issue with me is my personality cannot come out in person unless I'm like really comfortable with someone. So I can never, like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
yeah, but
Basically,
hey,
is
you
what
know
I'm trying
what?
to say.
It's totally okay. Like, honestly, like, it's still communication, and texting is still a means of communication.
And every
Exactly.
single guys, by the way, every single risky text I have sent, a failure. But it's okay because
No!
you know what Wayne Gretzky said? He said, I forgot. Ooh, 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 you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Boom. So
True,
if you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, why don't you take the shot type beat? Because at least maybe like
true.
0.1% of the shots that you do take will hit. Probability wise, it has to work. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
See, I can't miss a shot because I'll never shoot the shot. I'm kidding, guys.
Okay.
No. No, but for real, yeah, definitely Esther for that one. The
Yeah.
next one is who is more likely to say, "It is what it is," while actively crashing out?
Bro, I gotta say it's both of us though, right?
I know. I feel like we're both like D1 crash outs is what we always say. So if I'm not crashing out, the likelihood of Esther crashing out is pretty high. Like we rotate.
Yeah, we rotate crashing outs. It's insane, bro. But it's okay. It's good that we rotate for the most part, because then it's like
There
one
needs to be
person's
one
crashing
stable
out.
person, you know?
Yeah, there has to be. There has to be. There
But yeah,
literally
no,
has to
I feel
be.
like we know that it's gonna be fine. You
Actually.
can't like control everything that happens in your life, honestly. So like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes like it really is what it is. But when you're going through it, I guess it's just still hard because you feel like, oh, I could have done this, or like, why did this happen? But at the
Right.
end of the day, like it really is what it is. I think we say that because it's true, but I feel like we try to convince ourselves while we're crashing out to like,
That is
you know,
fine.
exactly.
Yeah.
Because it
Because
is.
especially if it involves other people, you can never control what other people do. So it literally
Yeah,
is what it
facts.
is. You can try all you want to change someone, but I
Yeah,
just
you
don't
can
think it's
only control
possible.
yourself. So
Who's more likely to become emotionally attached after one interaction? What?
guys, maybe take a guess here from what we've said.
Yeah, what do you guys think? You have two
Yeah, what do you
seconds
guys
to make a
think? Comment
guess.
down below. All
Yeah,
right.
it's me.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely Esther.
Oh my
She
god.
catches feelings pretty quick.
Yeah, somehow. I catch feelings quick, but like they're shallow feelings. I haven't caught deep feelings since like middle school, which is crazy.
That's
Which is
crazy.
crazy. Because it's like, how do you even have deep feelings in middle school? But I did, okay? Trust, trust, trust.
No, I know. She was like telling me all her crushes like growing up. I was like, my first real crush was probably in high school. Or like if I did, it was like a very quick one.
My first memory is of a crush.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
You know the sound that's like Maddie knew who she was from a very young age? That was you.
Yeah.
I obviously do catch feelings for people, but it takes me a while. I have to like really get to know someone to really form like a strong crush.
Mm.
It takes a long time for me to like someone, but once I do, I'm like locked in, you know? I don't entertain other options. So like we're kind of different in that way. Whereas she has other crushes, but they're multiple people, but they're not as strong. Whereas like me, like I fixate on one and I'm like, wait, like I'm kind of
Okay,
crazy.
yes, but like, mind you guys, I don't talk to my crushes. Like, I don't.
That's true.
I don't. But also, not talking about like romantically, but like with a friend, are you more likely to meet someone and be like, oh, I need to be friends with them? Do you feel emotionally attached in that way to anyone or no?
It depends. I feel like if I meet a friend and I'm like, wow, like we hit it off so well, we're very similar, like I can see us being friends, then yeah, I do get attached. But like if I
Okay,
meet
okay.
them and I'm like kind of iffy, then I'm like, I don't like force myself to like get attached. I'm just like, okay, maybe we hang out again and see like what it's like in the future. But like I don't get attached
Right.
to that.
No,
Yeah.
that's valid. Yeah, I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah. Like you don't ever want to force a friendship. So
Right.
to me, it's like whatever feels natural is, you know, is good. Your friends that like you'll naturally gravitate towards people that are meant to be your friends, you know?
Facts, facts. Okay, let's see. Who's more likely to survive a reality TV show? Oof.
Oh, that's funny. We actually
It
watch a lot of
depends.
reality TV, so it's a pretty
It's
good
gotta depend on
question.
the show. Because there's
Yeah.
Age of Attraction. We're never going at Age of Attraction, guys. Get me.
Oh,
I could
no.
speak about Age of Attraction
That show
forever.
is mad weird, not gonna lie.
Mad weird, bro. Like, I'm so sorry, mad weird. Age of Attraction, we'd both die on that show.
Facts. I don't think either of us would be on a dating show. Like, I feel like I just don't have it in me to, like, be doing all that, you know?
Yeah,
I'm a
it's a
very genuine
lot.
person. I'm also a very kind person. I would never wanna step on anyone's toes, and neither would
Mm-hmm.
you. So, like, I don't think we'd be
Yeah.
a good fit for, dating shows because, those shows, especially the American ones, are crazy.
Okay, what about like the game shows, or not game shows, but like the, manipulation shows, like The Mole and what was the other show we
Oh.
just watched?
We watched, Million Dollar Secret. That one was
Million
super
Dollar
good.
Secret.
I don't know who's more likely to survive. I think the 2 of us, we wouldn't, like, get cut out the first round.
Yeah, wait, let's give them a little background. These shows are like very heavy on like deception, manipulation, lying, and also like withholding information, but also being personable enough, but not too personable. So kind of like finding that balance, but also like being likable so they don't vote you out just
No
because, you
facts.
know.
Honestly, I feel like maybe you would survive longer just from, like, because like, you're more introverted. I feel like if you had a
Mm.
super strong opinion, you wouldn't voice it right away, and I feel like people who have strong opinions, like, they just get voted out really early. I have opinions too. I don't always voice them, but I think if I was voicing them too much, they would vote me out. So, I feel like maybe you would survive longer.
I feel like in that sense, maybe you would survive longer because if I'm too quiet, they might think I'm hiding something.
That's true. I don't know, it's kinda hard. I feel like for that one, we're, like, equally likely because I feel like we're very different, so we have different strengths and weaknesses.
We got to get casted for the show to find out.
I know. I guess you'll wait and see. Okay, the next one is this one's really funny. So, who's more likely to ask God for a sign and then ask God to confirm that sign because they don't believe it the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Let me think here.
I seem to remember something about a yellow car. Was it a yellow car? Was it a green car?
Yo, that was me. Like, guys, I'm guilty. I'm most likely. I'm just like, I don't know what was up with me in college. Sometimes for me, I just need a confirmation that I'm not like delusional. I'm like praying to God and I'm like, God, like if this is so humiliating to admit, if this is the person for me, like show me a green car. And then like literally in 2 days, I'll see a green car and I'll be like, oh my gosh, he must be the one. But then I'd be like, wait, what if I'm reading this wrong? Can you show me another one? And then I was like, wait,
Oh my
I'm
god.
missing the point. I shouldn't be asking God for all these signs, you know? Like, you're
Right.
not supposed to know the future either. I learned that I have to just trust and not like trying to be certain of everything in my life, you know? I realized like I have a hard time with uncertainty. So this is why I would do that. Like I didn't want to make the wrong decision. But looking back, this is like a part of life. Like part of life is making decisions, whether they're right or wrong. And like you'll always be brought back to the right path,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
So you don't have to worry about that. And that's something that I've learned over the years that like you
Mm-hmm.
don't need all these signs, you know? Also, like, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, it definitely is what it is, for sure. But also, I think I'm more too far into the other side of things that you mentioned. How it's like you'll always be directed to the right path eventually. So it doesn't matter if you make the wrong or right decision. And in that sense, I'm
True.
too impulsive. Like
Mhm.
I'll just
Mhm.
like make a split decision that impacts my entire life, and then I'll just be like, yeah, like I'll get to back to the right path. The Lord will show me the right path eventually. Like it'll
Yeah,
be
she does
fine.
do that.
No, I mean like even like bigger decisions. In college, I was pre-med for the longest time until I worked at a hospital. I was like, I actually don't want to be a doctor.
Ugh,
So I was
I remember
almost
that.
done with all of my pre-med like prerequisites and everything. The only class I had left was biochem. I purposefully didn't take biochem my last semester of college because I
Mhm.
didn't want to give myself the option of ever becoming a doctor. So,
Dang, that's crazy.
yeah. Yeah, those are the type of decisions.
Me, even if I knew I didn't wanna do it, I would complete it anyway just as a backup. So you can see, like, how we're different here.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Because I literally told myself, like, if I completed it, I might just, like, go back to being a doctor because it's something that I have been, like, thinking of my entire life. It's what I thought I wanted to do. So that's why I
Mhm.
specifically didn't do it because I didn't want myself to go back to it because I knew I didn't actually want to do it.
Yeah, honestly, that's something I admire about you, like, the fact that you're able to pivot really quickly and also, like, break out of your comfort zone, which is something that I wanna do more of. I've never been, like, a very, like, big risk taker. I've always been someone who, if this doesn't work out, I have, like, backup XYZ, you know? I've always been, like a
Mm.
planner, I think.
Right.
I feel like I've always had some kind of backup plan for everything, and I'm realizing, like, sometimes things just don't work out, and the backup plans just don't work out either. But we'll get into, like, why we say that because we're both kind of at that point where we're figuring it out after college.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
definitely.
Last question. Who's more likely to start a new hobby and then abandon it immediately?
You guys can guess this one too.
Based on what we said, it should be pretty obvious that it's Esther.
Yeah, it should be, like, blaringly obvious, guys. Let me see. Hold on. Literally.
You have a graveyard of the hobbies. Like, show them a tour. Soccer ball
Soccer ball, most recent
mhm,
hobby, okay. What
lasted
else do
2
we got
days.
here? Lasted 2 days. I have a whole conglomeration of paints.
Oh, yeah, the painting era. I remember that.
Wait, guys, I have so many paintings. Hold on. Here's one right here. Guys, I have too
Whoa.
many paintings. And then I have like soft pastels. I have my freaking guitar.
Yeah,
His name
she
is Baylor. Not named after the school. His name is just Baylor, okay? Okay.
no affiliation, guys.
But yeah, those are like that's like the majority of my hobbies, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's
Yeah.
there's gonna be a new one next week, but yeah.
Yeah, and there's a huge graveyard of them, like
Yep.
crocheting. I don't know what else.
I
Like,
have to admit, I also started crocheting and gave up, and my friend just came over and she's amazing at crocheting. She
bro,
actually made this little, like, outfit for my teddy bear, which is so
it's
cute.
so cute.
Shout out Rachel, oh my god, it's so cute, and you could take it off and put it on. But anyway, I tried crochet. I don't know, I something about it gave me anxiety. I, like, gave up in, like, a week or 2 just because like, I couldn't get it down pat.
We both like hobbies, but I'm more likely to abandon them.
Yeah, agree. All right, so that's the end of that section of who's more
Yay!
likely. But we want to dive into some of our favorite college memories and stories. I know you've heard a little bit about them. You got a little bit of a preview. In general, like I would say our dynamics are like golden retriever, black cat duo. I mean, do I even need to say
Mhm.
who is who? Like you guys can figure that out.
I think they might be a little confused, Selena.
Well, we're not
But
going to reveal. No, I'm kidding.
we're not going to reveal. They have to figure it out themselves,
Yeah, for
bro. Like,
real. You'll see the dynamics come out. But yeah, I think in that way, like it's kind of like an opposites attract, but we're not like completely opposite either. Even though personality wise we could be very opposite, we have a lot of common values. I think we think very similarly as well.
yeah, I agree. I agree. We both love food. Like, we're big backs. But the difference between Selena and I is I don't even know how to explain it.
She's an
It's
ingredient eater.
Yeah, I'm an ingredient eater. I prefer to have the constituents of a meal instead of combining everything together. Like, I love ground beef, but I'm not gonna make a burger. I don't like burgers. So I just make the ground beef. Not as a burger patty, I just make the ground beef.
She just eats it straight.
I just eat it straight. Selena will probably like make it into a whole like pasta meal or something with like a
Yeah,
whole
I'm like really extra
sauce.
with my cooking because I'm a big
Yeah.
cooker. I just love to cook. So for me, like if I see ground beef, I'm like, all right, do I make dumplings? Do I make bolognese? Like I have a bunch of recipes in my head. So that's where we're
Mm,
different. Esther would be like, oh, like I have some ground beef. And I'm like, oh, what are you going to make? And she's like, what do you mean, what am I going to make? Like, I'm just going to eat the
ground
ground
beef.
beef. And I'm like, what? Like, that's crazy.
Ooh, one of my favorite college memories is when Selena would cook for me. She cooked for me all the time. It was
Yes,
so
I did cook for
sweet.
her a lot. What was your favorite thing I made, you think?
I really like that one pasta you made, the like Korean.
Oh, was it the
Um,
gochujang cream pasta?
yeah, that was super good.
Yo, that's
Super
one of my
good, bro.
favorite recipes, actually. Something about like a fusion recipe, like Asian and Italian, is like so delicious.
Mm. And then, bro, those brownies we ate together, bro.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And we were watching a cooking show too. Culinary Class Wars, right?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so. Culinary Cultures is so good. That's, like, one of my favorite
Yeah.
cooking shows. I've watched almost every cooking competition show there is. Think about the intensity and the
It's next
fact that,
level.
like, the standards are really high in Korea in general, it makes it a really interesting to watch show.
Very
Yes,
high heat.
yes. I think for me, favorite memories, I'm gonna dive into that main trip because that's actually one of my favorite memories, but it also had a lot of crazy memories in it.
Bro.
So the main trip, man, that trip, I think was it our junior year we took that?
I was living in Lightview, so I think it was
Sophomore
our
year.
sophomore year.
Okay. So Maine was sophomore year. It was me, Esther, and then our friend Amy, and we decided to go. It was like a weekend trip, and we stayed over in Portland.
Mhm.
Man, it was so much fun. We saw like the Portland Lighthouse. I remember eating clam chowder. It was so
Yeah,
good.
that was so good,
Oh
bro. Oh my
man, I
god.
missed that. And the lobster rolls, that was so delicious too. We went to like round one. We did a bunch of like random stuff. And
Yeah.
guys, when I'm telling you, like, this is really irresponsible of me, but I left my phone in the Uber and I didn't realize because we had gotten dropped off at round one by an Uber driver. And while we were playing, I didn't realize I didn't have my phone. Arcades are very like stimulating, so I wasn't pulling out my phone. And then I was at this claw machine. Oh, this is a fun story too. So I was trying to win a plushie because round one has a lot of very cute ones. There was this really cute penguin plush, and I really want to win it, so I tried a couple of times, I used a lot of my credits, but for some reason, like, I was just not good at it, I couldn't get the claw
Right?
machine to pick it up.
So while she was doing this in the background, Amy and I were like seeing this guy using the claw machines and like low key winning heavy. Like
Yeah,
he
he
was
was so
winning every
good.
time he tried. Mhm.
So then he comes over, he was like, "Wait, like, let me try," and I was like, "Okay," and, like, he swept his own card too, and then he literally did it, like, in 2 tries, and then after that, he gave me the penguin, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, that was so sweet."
So sweet.
So I was like, "Can you guys take a picture for me?" Like talking to Esther and Amy. And so like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "All right, let me like give you my phone." And
Oh
then I
yeah.
checked my back pockets, and that's where I usually keep it, and it's not there. I checked the front pockets, not there. I checked my bag, not there. And then I think for a second and I'm like, "Wait a second. When was the last time I had my phone?" And then I realized I left it in the Uber. Help, guys. When I tell you it was really bad.
Yeah.
They were like, "Oh, let me see where, like, her location is." And guys, tell me why the location was, like, an hour away. And we were like, "Oh my gosh, this is bad."
It was so bad, guys. And the thing is, we were leaving the next day.
Yeah. This is not good timing.
High stress situation.
So long story short, I literally, like, had to call the Uber driver. I had to, like, negotiate with him because he said he lived so far away from where he dropped us off that it would be not possible for him to come the same day. And then he was like, "You can come to my house." And I was like, "No, thank you." That sounds like the beginning of a horror movie.
No,
So we were like,
literally.
No, we're not going to your house." But we agreed to, like, meet him at the airport, which we weren't even
Mhm.
flying back to Boston, so that was, like, a whole ordeal too. And, like, I finally got my phone back, but I was tweaking for the next day. I was tweaking, like, imagine losing your phone on a trip and, like, leaving the next day. I was convinced that, like, maybe he wouldn't give it back to me, so I was worried, honestly. But yeah, besides that, like, it was a great trip. I feel like we did all the tourist attractions, but we also did more. So that's one of my favorite memories actually, like, looking back.
Mhm. Yeah, it was pretty fun. I like trips.
A little bit of reflecting, I know we did a bit of that and, like, talking about memories. I want to do a little current life update for, the listeners. You can start first, give them a little bit of the background.
Okay, quick little crash course. In college, I was initially a health science and psychology major, pre-med, dropped the health science after like my first year because I don't want to offend anyone, but like I felt like it was repetitive. So like
Yeah,
I learned about policy, I learned about like communication. Like I have the background. I'm fine. I don't need a health science major. So dropped that. Then I was just psychology for like 2.5 years and pre-med. Then I dropped the pre-med. There's nothing to really drop. It's just like just don't finish the requisites or like just don't
yeah,
apply to medical school. So I finished off. I graduated a semester early, not really because I wanted to, but because I couldn't get a second co-op. A co-op is like a really long internship. I was trying to pivot, like go into a different field because I didn't want to be pre-med anymore. And I was like, oh, if I can't pivot in college, whenever can I pivot? Well, I couldn't even pivot in college. So I was
aw,
like, when I tried to get a co-op in any other, like in a different industry other than healthcare, I couldn't. So I was like, wow, I can't even pivot. That's great. Because everyone was telling me, oh, get something related. But college is the place to get an internship in a company or like position that you're interested in going into, right?
yeah,
If I can't even pivot and get an internship to like something kind of unrelated to my major, whenever would I be able to pivot? So that's the point when I was like really feeling disillusioned because I was like,
yeah,
what even is reality? If you need experience to get experience, how does anyone ever survive here? But I was like, whatever, it is what it is. And I moved on. And then I graduated a semester early, came back home, but I had no prospects at all because I wasn't going to go to medical school, which I thought was the thing I was going to do for like my entire life.
yeah.
So I worked at Starbucks for like a little bit, like 4 months, and then I got a job at a bank. And so before my job at the bank started, I went back to Boston to like, do the whole cap and gown thing. Worked at the bank for 4 months and I was like, well, I miss science. Let me quit the bank. Cause the bank job was really customer service heavy. And I'm not the biggest fan of like straight up customer service, especially
Yeah.
when it's dealing with thousands of dollars.
Yeah, it's definitely, like,
Bro,
not a not chill, but it's also, like, you can't discount anything because you get in trouble.
right. And, like, the problem was, you think of a bank, you think, "Oh, slow, slow, slow." For some reason, I was at the busiest financial center in the entire, like, district or whatever, like, no cap. The line was always long. We had so many clients coming in. It was insane. It was not for me.
Yeah, she would call me at
Sorry.
her lunch break, like, cause she was and tell me all the stories, so I it's funny because like, I know a lot of the characters at that bank, even though I didn't work there.
No, literally, she could probably pull up to the bank and be like, "Hey, I know you," and they'd be
No,
like,
literally, I
"What?"
know them on the first name basis, but they don't know me, which is crazy.
Insane. Bro has all the lore. So yeah, I quit the bank job and I was gonna fully like go into psychology and I wanted to get a PhD in psychology. I still do. Eventually I will, but I don't have the most robust research experience. The thing with
Yeah.
getting a PhD is you need a lot of research experience, right?
Mhm.
So I didn't get into any PhD programs. I did get into the master's program at Penn State. I really, really like that school. That was my
Mm.
top school for my PhD program. I didn't accept it because I was only gonna go to school if it was fully funded because I do
Yeah.
not wanna take out loans. I just can't do it. So, eventually, I do wanna get a PhD in psychology because I love psychology, right? But
Mhm.
only when I can fund it myself, you know? So, that's, like, something, like, that I wanna achieve during my life, you know? It's not, like,
Yeah.
something I need to achieve right now. So, right now, I'm side questing heavy. I'm trying to break into this industry that I like. We'll keep it on the down low for now, okay?
Mhm,
We'll keep it on the
mhm.
down low. But bro, I'm locked in.
We're also working on this.
Yeah, we're working on this too. So you'll see some developments in the future. Okay, guys, stay tuned. Like I'm actually locked in. I'm hyper focused now. Trust.
Yeah. No, it's okay. Everything is meant to happen. God has a plan, so just gotta
For
trust,
sure.
It's hard
Yeah.
sometimes, but I know one day we're gonna look back and be like, "Wow, like, what were you crashing out about?" Like, everything turned out to
Right?
be okay, you know?
Literally can't wait. How are you? What are you up to at this moment?
All right. So for me, I guess a bit about my background. So in college at Northeastern, I majored in economics and business administration, which for us, like when you were a business major, you had to pick a concentration. So my concentration was brand management, which I actually really loved. It was like basically marketing, but a little bit more specific, more brand.
Mm.
So anyway, that's what I majored in college. I did my two co-ops in very different fields. The first one was at TJX in marketing for both Marshalls and TJ Maxx. One of my favorite jobs I've ever worked. I loved it so much. The people were great. The job was so much fun. I realized like I have a creative mind, but I also
Mhm.
enjoy like jobs that are very collaborative. And that was a very team based job. So I really loved that about that. And also working with like one of my best friends also worked at that company, so that was super nice. And so we co-op together and we would shuttle together because it was in Framingham. So my second job was at a finance company in the heart of Boston, and I was doing like an operations kind of finance role, which is obviously very different from my first job. But for some reason, like I just wanted to try it out because, I was like, what's the worst that can happen, But anyway, honestly, I will say it was like a rough co-op overall. I loved everyone I worked with. Some of the people that I worked with became my best friends like after.
Mm.
But it's just that like the job itself, I realized was really tedious and I realized it wasn't a good fit with what I liked. It was a very like first job was very collaborative and fun. Second job was very tedious and independent. I went from like going to meetings all day and all week to like zero meetings ever. So it was a very weird change.
It was just Selena and spreadsheets.
No, literally. The thing is, like, what I liked about the job was I really liked working in that finance environment. Even though I didn't like in the beginning, I ended up learning a lot of problem solving skills, which
Okay.
are very useful now. And it also made me very like resilient. I feel like
Mm.
I feel like by the second half, I enjoyed it a lot more than my first half.
Okay. Wait, that's nice.
So basically, yeah, so that's kind of a bit of a background of college and like what I did. Like I said, I was in an a cappella group, so that took up a lot of my time, but it was one of my favorite things I did. It was a Christian one and it was really fun. I got really close with all the people there. And then I also did a dance group. It was a very like low stakes one, not like a competitive group, but it was just to keep my passion alive while I was in college and just like get my body moving as well.
A little bit about the dance group. Selena and our other friend Mathina, it was you and Mathina, right, who were the first ones to join that group?
Yeah, it was actually
Or was it
me,
just
and then
you?
I got her she started wanting to come because I was doing it, and then so by second semester of freshman year, we were both in it, And then somehow
Mhm.
Esther got looped in and all of our other friends, so it was kind of funny.
It was so funny. It went from just Selena to then Selena Medina and then to all of us. So we were like, who's gonna be in the audience to like cheer
No,
us on now? Because
literally. Who's gonna
the
bring the
audience became
flowers?
the dancers. Literally, it was
No,
so funny.
literally.
Like trendsetter for real, bro.
So many memories, my goodness.
Mhm.
But yeah, anyway, so I graduated. I actually had a job too. It was again in a different industry. I don't know. I just like trying different things. Like, I've always been very open minded, which is something I
Mm.
like about myself. And so it was like a sales job and at an expert network in the city. And honestly, like a month in, I was like, wow, like this is not for me. I think it was like bad because I was like crashing out every day. Obviously, still getting my work done, but I was really unhappy. And I was like, you know what? I'm so young, and even though it's just my first job, I feel like I need to take a step back and leave and like figure out what's next. So I
Mm.
realized during like these last few months that I really loved marketing and that I really missed it. That was my favorite job out of all the ones I worked. I liked different aspects of every job, but that one was by far the most enjoyable and I felt the most
Mhm.
fulfilled there. And I think that's what I
Right.
realized. Like, I need to do something that feels fulfilling for me. I'm not a person that can work for money. Yes, of course, I want to make money like everyone else, but I'm not driven by that in that same
Mhm.
way. For me, like, I need to have some meaning or passion in what I do. Otherwise, it's really hard for me to stay motivated. But yeah, anyway, like in the meantime, like I worked at this local retail store near my house. And that was fun. It was like a 4 month seasonal job. And then right now, like I'm on the search. I've been doing a couple interviews. So hopefully sometime soon, I'll be back with an announcement.
Yay! So
Yay!
exciting.
Yes, but definitely it's been a lot of figuring out for both of us. I think that's why we've also like stayed really close because like we're going through a very similar phase of our life
Mhm.
where we both don't know what's next. But at the same time, it's a very fun and exciting time because we get to basically try out the things that we want to do, you know? With having so much time, like being fun employed has its benefits. Like we have the time to do whatever. If there's a cool pop-up, I can go, you know? If she wants to
Yeah.
go here at this time and she wants to wake up late, she could, you know? And it's just like in a way, I'm trying to see like the positives rather than being like, oh, the job market. Everyone's like, the job market is the worst it's ever been. Like, all right, I don't need to hear that again. Trust me, I know. If you're like us and you feel like, you know, you've been looking for a long time, you don't know what you're doing outside of college, even if you're in college, like, honestly, don't worry. Like, everything is going to be fine. I would say just continue pursuing your passions. If there's any even dreams that you had, just pursue it. Like, why not? What's the worst that can happen, you know? Even if you
Yeah.
tried and it doesn't work out, like, at least you tried, you know?
Mhm. It's your life. Like, if you're living your life for someone else, then it's never gonna be fulfilling for you. Like, think, "What do I want?" There's no point in not pursuing what you want if it's something that would drive you, you know, just make you happy every single day.
There's a purpose for everything. So just remember that if you're going through a hard time, like, you know, trust me, like we've been there. I understand. All right. Now that we've talked a little bit about of what we're up to and what we did in college, we want to finish this podcast off each episode with a tradition. So the segment will be called No Cap, Just Yap, which is the name of our podcast. And basically, there's just going to be a couple statements that we go through. And each statement is a very commonly said statement or widely believed by people. And then we have to say like no cap or just yap, right? So no cap means like, yeah, word, you know, like I
Like
agree with
facts.
that, like facts.
Mhm.
And then just yap is no, like people are just saying that. It's just talk, you know, like it's not necessarily
Yeah.
true. So yeah, that's basically no cap, just yap. This is our first time doing it. All right. Do you want to read the first one?
Yeah, go ahead. No cap, just yap, question mark. Your first impressions of someone are always right.
Ooh, let me think for a second. I'm going to
Mm.
say just yap. I used to think no cap here, but I think maybe I wasn't giving people of a chance because like sometimes people would have not the best first impression, but maybe they just
Mm.
had a hard day and they were just tired and they didn't come off the way they thought they did. There's been times where like I didn't have the best first impression of someone, but then we ended up being really good friends. And so
Mhm.
that ended up being like a beautiful story too. I think
Aw.
it's important to not always like sometimes, yeah, trust your gut, obviously, like if you feel like something is wrong. But I think people deserve second chances, like just like as much as you and me, you know?
Mhm. That's true. I honestly would say just yap as well, in the sense that I feel like it's hard to make a quick, like, first judgment on someone and
Yeah.
know you're right. I think people are so, like, multifaceted. I think they're multifaceted in that there's different sides of them that they can show, not that they can change those sides of them, you
Mhm.
know, like,
Yeah.
but just that, like, there's so much more to see of a person than just the first impression that you have of them, so that's why I think it's just yap.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like social anxiety is a thing too for a lot of people. Sometimes they might just be like feeling very anxious inside, but you can't tell. So like it affects the way you're
They
perceiving
come
them.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. The second one, having Instagram is overrated. No cap or just yap?
I'm gonna say it's no cap. No cap is no cap.
I actually disagree. Why do you think no cap?
Okay. I think Instagram, this is just me personally, because comparison is a thief of joy, right?
Yeah.
And I think Instagram, seeing updates from people that you don't necessarily keep in contact with every single day, is just another way to like get your joy taken away from you. I got rid of my Instagram account that like I had followers and followed people from like middle school up until like through college, right? If I don't talk to you like on a monthly basis, even, I don't really need to see the updates of your life. I just don't want to like bring that type of comparison and like melancholy into my life, you know? So I just, I have a tiny little Instagram account with just my buddies that I like actually keep up with, you know, talk
Mhm.
to, because I don't know, I think it's good if you have your close friends there. But if you're always getting constantly bombarded with like images and stories of
Yeah.
everyone that you've everyone that you've ever known or ever met once,
Yeah.
it's a little bit much for me.
I understand that. I think your argument has a lot of merit too. There are cases where like I feel like people do detoxes and they're like, wow, like that was
Mm,
really good for my mental health. But I think it's also dependent on your relationship with Instagram, you know? For
right.
me, like I started Instagram at a very young age. I had Instagram since I was like 10, which I know is crazy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everyone else in my class had Instagram. I don't know why, but and I haven't changed. Like it's been the same account since.
Mhm.
And for me, like I say just Yap because I think even though Instagram, yeah, like the downsides of social media, like, you know, of course, like brain rot and all these things, and it may not be the best for you. But I think for me, a lot of amazing things have come out of it. I've reconnected
Mhm.
with a lot of like childhood friends that I moved away from. And been able to find them through social media and have a talk and like hang out again. So in that way, like it's been a way for me to reconnect with people that I haven't seen in a long time and also a way for me to interact with friends that are like long distance. Of course, like I call them and like
Mm.
FaceTime, but sometimes like they post something in their story and I'm like, oh my gosh, like I just did that today. Or like, oh, how was that? You know? I think it's just a very cute way to like see what everyone's up to. I personally like I know Instagram is very performative, like
Yeah.
definitely. But at the same time, like I do enjoy sometimes looking at the aesthetic feeds and like getting inspiration for my life. Maybe because I've always been a creative person. I enjoy a pretty photo, you know? I've been into photography before, so, like, for me, Instagram is a way to share that, especially my food photography.
Mm, mm, mm.
So that's why I think just yeah.
Okay, last one. Being delusional is necessary for survival. No
Ooh.
cap, bro.
Yeah, I would have to agree, no cap. I mean, me and Esther or sorry, Esther and I are some of the most delusional people that you'll ever meet, but, like, in, like, a good way. Delusions are not always bad. I think a lot of delusions stem from, like, hopes of what you want to happen, you know? And I think it's important to
Yes.
have delusions sometimes. I know this is so cliche, but, like, dream big, and also don't limit yourself to what's possible, you know?
And being delusional is important because if you don't believe in yourself, who else will? You're the first stop. You're the first person to know what you want and to know what you have to do to achieve it. So if you're not delusional enough to believe in yourself, literally no one else will be delusional enough for you. So you just you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, like, if you think about all, like, the very famous, like, founders, right? Founders of Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, right? All of those things started with, like, a dream, you know? It started with
Right.
the delusions, right? I think it's Amazon that I watched a documentary on in college. They were, like, failing for 10 years before they became successful, and it's like, I'm sure during that time, Jeff was it is it Jeff Bezos?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sure at that point, Jeff was like, "You know, the company hasn't been doing well. Maybe this isn't something that's gonna happen. Maybe we should give up," you know? But then he didn't, and, like, look where they are now, and, like, I think that's why it's important. I'm sure at some point he had to convince himself with some delusions, you know?
I bet he had like no investors. Bro, I love Amazon too. Like, don't even get me
Yeah, I
started.
can't live without it. I know people have beef with Amazon for, like, other reasons, but, like, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, like, next day, like, delivery, like, that's a dream. I have
It's
Prime, so
crazy. It's crazy, bro. I love it. Like, thank God. Like, please.
I
Sorry.
know, for real. Well, guys, thank you so much for tuning into No Cap Just Yap. Feel free to keep up with us on socials at nocap.justyap on Instagram and TikTok.
We have new episodes every Thursday at 6 a.m. Eastern on Spotify, and we shall see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.